I want to set myself apart from all these other fighters. And the way I do that is taking out the savages, taking out the monsters. You know, I'm the monster, but I'm the monster hunter as well. And I mean, it's not no easy task for me. I'm talking about, you know, beating Bivol, then beating Beterbiev, then beating whoever after that. I really, in my heart, believe I could beat them, but it's gonna be a tough task.
But he knows I'm not coming to play. He knows that when David Benavidez steps in that ring, all those belts are leaving with David Benavidez. So I think he knew the danger and the severity of this fight, so I feel like that's why he took a tune-up fight first. And
I just applaud David Benavidez because he ducks no one. Watch yourself. I just applaud the fact that he ducks no one, and he's ready to fight at all times. He is the Mexican monster. Sometimes I'm wondering, is somebody going to hurt him because he's right there in front of them.
David Benavidez has just plotted his takeover of Bivol and Beterbiev. He is done asking for permission and is instead forcing a light heavyweight takeover.
Light heavyweight, that's the only thing that makes sense. Zurdo, or Bivol and Beterbiev. And then we'll see who else comes after that. You know, at the end of the day, we're always gonna need somebody to fight, so let come on, come on.
Who would you prefer, Beterbiev or Bivol?
Just for the title standpoint, Bivol, but I think a fight that people enjoy more is Beterbiev. And you know, at the end of the day, I'm here for the fans. Like, I'm just a vessel for the fans to enjoy. You know, if I tell the fans I'm gonna go in there, I'm gonna go to war, that's exactly what I'm gonna do. You know what I mean? I'm true to this.
On the other hand, Dmitry Bivol aggressively defends the keys to his kingdom.
About who?
David Benavidez.
He did well last year, of course, yeah, he has another good fight against Ramirez, and yeah, he's doing well.
The final one, obviously 2026. Obviously, you said you're coming back in May. Would you like to be undisputed once again by the end of the year?
Yeah, why not? Why not? Yeah, this is one of the options. Also, there is Benavidez, there is Beterbiev still, and also I'm open for cruiserweight. Why not? Yeah, I would like to get a chance to fight for another belt also in another weight class.
Responding to Bivol's ambition, Benavidez asserts that he is truly the next Manny Pacquiao.
Yeah. Pacquiao, Bivol, Beterbiev. That's murderer's row. But
so to be honest with you, this is a great thing that we have great fights lined up, and I'm willing to give every single one of them to you guys. That's the thing that's different about me. I'm going out there and I'm telling you I'm gonna fight all these fights, and that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna bullshit. I'm not gonna try to get no easy fights when we're trying to make the biggest and best fights happen.
And we believe you. That's one of the reasons we love you.
You guys had asked me. I'm gonna let you guys in on a little secret. You guys said what drives me. I'm born on the same day as Manny Pacquiao, December 17th. So there's something between that. Me and Manny Pacquiao had that same thing in us, you know what I mean? So I want to be out like how Manny Pacquiao had his run. What was it, from 2009 to whenever it ended? That's exactly the run I want to have. I want to give this much excitement to the people because they deserve it.
Mocking the hype around Benavidez, Bivol's former opponent, Artur Beterbiev, jokes that he simply prefers to avoid him.
But Artur, did you see Benavidez's fight against Anthony Yarde? You've obviously fought Anthony Yarde. What did you think of that performance from Benavidez?
I watched some highlights. He did a good job, I don't know.
Would you like to fight Benavidez after the Bivol trilogy?
Even after he beat Anthony Yarde? No.
Would you like to fight Benavidez?
No.
Why not?
Because he beat him.
He's a world champion.
Yeah, I'm joking. Yeah, of course I want to fight with him.
Respecting the danger, however, Bivol stated that the physical size of Benavidez could pose a problem in the long run.
Not easy.
Good sparring.
Yeah?
I like this. When you should do thinking every time.
David spars everybody, heavyweights, light heavyweights. He says you and Triple G hit the hardest.
Thank you.
But he said Golovkin close, you distant. Style.
David spar with another guys because he big.
Yeah,
he bigger than me.
Although he envisioned a clash of monsters, Benavidez chose one to fight for his return as the king.
To be honest with you, the one that gets me the most excited is probably Beterbiev because, you know, it's just two monsters coming at a collision course. And that's what people want to see at the end of the day. You know, I feel like I have a lot of respect for all those men, but, you know, Beterbiev has been the boogeyman for a long, long, long time. So for me being the monster, I gotta go in there and take the boogeyman out.
This massive clash instantly electrified the boxing world, with expert predictions quickly pouring in, with analysts weighing up styles, momentum, and who would come out on top. Raising the stakes, David admitted to the danger while brushing past those encounters that never materialized. He made it clear that patience has limits, and certain lines had already been crossed. What followed remained largely unspoken, yet the risk was palpable, and Benavidez understood the gravity of the arena he was entering.
I mean, obviously there's a couple savages down there. One that, for one reason or another, the fight didn't get made, but another one you called out, Artur Beterbiev and Dmitry Bivol. How do you think that's all going to play out with you?
I mean, they're gonna have to come see me eventually, you know what I mean? So this boxing game, you have to have a lot of patience. You know, if the fights don't happen now, it doesn't mean that they're not gonna happen. It just means that you have to give it a little bit more time. But also, like I said, bro, like, you get to a certain point where just regular fights is not enough for you. You have to take calculated risks. And it's like in life, anything. Sometimes when you're at a level, you have to take a risk to get to that next step. And this was my risk, you know what I mean? These are these calculated risks, and the risks are risk because they're not 100% certain that it might go your way.
On that note, Stephen A. Smith praised David Benavidez for his aggression, toughness, and ability to both take and return shots in the ring. Smith noted his style can be risky, but still highlighted his speed, power, and heart as major strengths. He made it clear he's a big supporter and wants to see him on the biggest stage.
I just applaud David Benavidez because he ducks no one. What's up? I just applaud the fact that he ducks no one. And he's ready to fight at all times. He is the Mexican monster. Sometimes I'm wondering, is somebody going to hurt him, because he's right there in front of them. He doesn't move, but he clearly shows he can take a punch, and he can damn sure give one with either hand. He's got speed, he's got power, he's got boxing ability, he's got heart. And I don't know if there's a bigger fan of David Benavidez than me. I really I got a lot of love for his skills. And I want to see him on the big stage. So I don't root against anybody per se, especially in a sport as violent as boxing, but I'm a huge fan of his, and I wish him the best.
Stepping in, Teddy Atlas pointed to a potential Bivol versus Beterbiev fight as the key matchup everyone was waiting on. Atlas said strong influence in boxing could help make those fights happen. Teddy Atlas then suggested the winners of those bouts could eventually face someone like Benavidez, setting up major fights ahead.
We got to see this Bivol Beterbiev Beterbiev fight. Yeah, because Turkey Al-Sheikh has already said he would like, and usually what he wants to do, he usually gets done because he has the ability with the money and the influence now to get it done. So he wants to see the winner of Bivol Beterbiev 2 fight the winner of Benavidez or Morale. We know that's Benavidez now. That would be a hell of a fight either way. Either way, we got good stuff to look forward to.
Looking at it differently, Max Kellerman said Beterbiev was still competing at a high level even past 40, noting how tight his fights with Bivol had been. Kellerman suggested time could start working against him and leaned towards seeing a Benavidez matchup sooner rather than later. He added that other big fights could still develop, but pointed to Benavidez versus Gervonta Davis as the most compelling option.
Here's what I'll say about the order in which he would fight Bivol and Beterbiev, guys. Beterbiev is past 40.
Yes.
The fact that he was able to fight Bivol almost on even terms, I thought Bivol won both fights. But there were both moments in that rounds in that fight where you're like
walking him down.
Yeah, who's going to win this fight, right?
Yeah.
And he's over 40 and doing that with Bivol.
Special.
However, at a certain point, you get too old.
Yeah.
I would like to see Beterbiev fight Benavidez when Beterbiev has as much as he can have in the tank. Because the Bivol's fight will still be there, right? So I'd love to see that first.
Driving the point, Jose Benavidez Sr. said the biggest fights still revolved around names like Beterbiev and Bivol, noting earlier chances slipped when those opponents didn't engage. Benavidez made it clear David stayed focused on the elite, especially fighters with proven wins at the top level. No tune-ups, no detours, just the biggest challenges available.
Yeah, the biggest fights right now, I believe that is Beterbiev or Bivol. You know, now when we fought Anthony Yard, Bivol gave us a belt. He didn't want to fight. He just handed over, you know. We asked to fight Beterbiev, they told him he didn't want to fight either. That's why we fought Yard. But now they're saying they want to fight. So I think those are the biggest fights, and those are the fights that David wants. He wants Beterbiev, he wants Bivol. He wants to prove the people that he's the best. I would love to fight Bivol because he beat Canelo. He beat Zurdo Ramirez. So if we can beat the one that beat the one, you know, those are the fights that we want to look for. We don't want no tune-ups, you know, and you see David never wants tune-ups. He wants to fight the best.
Dismissing the debate, Benavidez Sr. brushed off talk of a trilogy and focused only on getting David the biggest fight available. Benavidez suggested the top names had already avoided the matchup once, making delays irrelevant. Jose briefly touched the legacy argument, but didn't dwell on it, returning to a simple demand: make the fight happen.
Who do you favor to? Do you think they're going to have their trilogy first before you can get your shot?
I don't really care. I don't care about that. You know, to be honest, I didn't even watch both of the fights. You know, I don't really care, to be honest with you. What I care is fighting them.
Yeah.
Give us the opportunity to fight. Don't run. Let's go. Let's make it happen. You know, we offered the fight. They didn't want to take it. I think now they need the fight. They need to fight David. They need us more than we need them at this point. But let's make it happen.
But from a legacy standpoint, you guys need them just as much, if not more.
No.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Like I said, we want to fight. We already asked them to fight.
Right.
They did not want to. They hand us the belt. Bivol hand us the belt.
Right.
Because they didn't want to fight. Beterbiev didn't want to fight either.
On that view, Shakur Stevenson said he would rather see Dmitry Bivol face David Benavidez than another trilogy, while still acknowledging Artur Beterbiev had earned that option. Stevenson felt the first Bivol versus Beterbiev fight was close, but still leaned slightly toward Bivol. Shakur Stevenson added Bivol versus Benavidez would be one of the most competitive fights in boxing, even if he slightly favored Bivol.
Do you want to see a trilogy, or would you rather just see the Benavidez?
I'd rather see the Benavidez. I mean, Beterbiev deserve a trilogy technically, because of the first fight. I thought Bivol won the first fight too.
Yeah, I did too.
But me, I think that Benavidez and Bivol is another fight that's one of the biggest and best fights in the sport of boxing. I don't know if it's the biggest, but one of the best as far as like competitive wise.
Who you got in there? That's a hard fight. I ain't gonna lie.
I'm leaning towards Bivol. But I know like it would be tough with Benavidez with his pressure.
From that angle, Sean Porter said the light heavyweight division needed the biggest names, pointing to Bivol and Beterbiev as the main targets. Porter suggested business delays and unfinished plans were slowing things down. Sean Porter kept the message simple, saying those were the fights that made the most sense at the top level. If they didn't happen, David Benavidez was the next clear option waiting in line.
It's everybody saying, you know, him being at 175 pounds now, it has to be Bivol, it has to be Beterbiev. If it's not those two guys, you're basically robbing this kid of his career. I agree with that.
I agree too.
I think he's at this point, he's paid his dude. He's done everything he needs to do to be fighting a Dmitry Bivol or a Artur Beterbiev. That being said, it's just a matter of the business working for him. You know, I don't know what the situation is. Last I saw, they were supposed to be doing that trilogy match, and I don't know what's going on with that. But if you're not fighting one another, one of y'all need to be getting ready to fight
Canelo,
Mr. David Benavidez.
Oh yeah.
Giving his take, Porter said Benavidez didn't really have an easy path at the top, pointing to a couple of major names as difficult stylistic matchups. Porter suggested both options carried real danger and were close to even on paper. Porter then implied that if those fights didn't happen, there wasn't much left at that level, especially with another big name no longer in the mix.
I don't think David really would have a pick of the poison. I think the harder fight for him is Bivol, because Bivol is much more versatile, can do a lot of things. Same breath, Beterbiev can take a punch and he can deliver a punch.
For sure.
So both fights are dangerous fights for him.
Yeah.
I think both fights are 50-50 fights for him. But if it's not either of those two guys, I don't know who it's going to be.
Canelo's off the table? He ain't doing it.
Canelo's off the table because I'm not sure if going
weight
back to 168 pounds, not that they can't.
Canelo ain't going up though.
Canelo's 100% not going.
You know who told him don't come back here.
Zooming out, Tim Bradley said he mixed a few names while breaking down the situation, but kept circling back to a simple idea. At the higher weights, the focus should be on the biggest available names. Bradley questioned why certain matchups weren't happening, leaving the reasons open-ended. Bradley made it clear he would keep speaking plainly, suggesting moving up without facing top opposition didn't fully make sense.
I always get their names mixed up. Because I'm about to speak on Bivol, and I'm about to speak on Benavidez, and also Beterbiev. It's like, okay, 168, you want the king Canelo Alvarez, but then when you get to 175, why you not fighting the king at 175? You feel me? Like, why you not chasing that guy? I'm me. I'm gonna be me. I'm gonna stay what's on my mind. I'm gonna stay the truth. Why are you not fighting those guys? Are those guys occupied? Are those guys not available to fight? Or these guys don't want to face you? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you go up to these weight classes and you're not picking up no straps.
Taking it a step further, Bradley questioned the vacant belt situation, hinting at uncertainty over whether it came from injury or other circumstances. He briefly touched talk of a possible trilogy, but did not linger, shifting focus back to what mattered most in his view, facing the top champions. Bradley stressed that at 175, the priority should stay on the biggest names instead of staying stuck at contender level.
Okay, so he got a strap. Okay. All right, so Bivol vacated that belt. Why? Did he vacate the belt because he didn't want to fight Benavidez, or he got injured?
Well, he's supposed to, I think maybe both. He's supposed to have a trilogy with Beterbiev.
Oh, he going to trilogy? Okay. Because that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at fight those dudes. Those guys right there. You know? You just got up to 175. You know, you fought some contenders there, but damn, man, let's try to get these champions, man. Like, you should be after a Beterbiev fight.
Giving his view, Mario Lopez said if Artur Beterbiev is at his peak, he doesn't favor anyone against him unless age starts to slow him down. Lopez added Bivol's movement could still cause real problems, making the matchup tough on both sides. Mario Lopez called it extremely close with no clear answer, describing it as a clash of power and precision.
Yes, I don't favor anyone over Beterbiev when he's peaking in all his powers. He's 40 now. He's about 40 now. Yeah. Clean living though, but if he were to slow down a little bit, then maybe. But at the same time, a Bivol, movement, I think would give him problems too. I think if Beterbiev were to slow down, that's a big if. I think maybe he'd have a better shot with Beterbiev. But I think the movement with Bivol gives him a lot of problems too, and Bivol doesn't look like he's slowing down anytime soon. I'm going to be interested. I'll let you know after this
February
next fight.
22nd.
I'll let you know after this next fight.
Well, this is what I call the 50.
Both difficult.
I think it's 51-49. I don't think there's a definitive answer. Look, one guy's a sledgehammer. We know who that is, but one guy's the scalpel.
Shifting focus, Radovoy Flyzik praised Benavidez's accomplishments, but questioned how he would fare against the elite. Flyzik said he didn't see much chance for him against Artur Beterbiev, calling him a different level based on his own experience sparring top fighters. Flyzik also placed Bivol in that same top tier.
Do you look at him like that, or are you just like, he's good, but he's probably a little bit overrated?
I mean, he accomplished a lot and he beat everybody in front of him, but I just see he's good, but just him, if comparing him to Beterbiev Bivol, I don't think he has a chance.
No chance at all.
No.
But see, you said that kind of quick, like you don't gotta think about it or nothing. You're just like, yeah, nah, no shot.
Well, I sparred Kovalev, Triple G, Beterbiev. I sparred the top guys in the world, Morel now, and I just know Beterbiev's different. And just how close Bivol and Beterbiev fight is, I know Bivol's different.
Shifting focus, a sports analyst said talks between major boxing promotions had already begun building towards a possible Bivol versus Benavidez showdown, depending on upcoming results. The analyst described it as a major move, pointing out that Benavidez never let promotional barriers slow him down. Benavidez was portrayed as someone willing to change paths entirely if needed, pushing forward no matter how complicated the route became.
Should both of them win their next upcoming fights,
Premier boxing champions and Matchroom Boxing are already in conversations and negotiations to stage a massive showdown between Dmitry Bivol and David Benavidez. This is great news. David Benavidez doesn't let any politics prevent him from being great, point blank and period, okay? He just simply does not allow any politics to prevent him from being great. He pursues it one way or another, okay? If David Benavidez has to, leave a promotional company, seek it out himself, do it himself, whatever he have to do.
According to the sports analyst, Bivol had been out since early 2025 after a back injury following a tight rematch with Beterbiev that flipped the result of their first meeting. The analyst said Bivol was returning against Michael Efford, marking a key comeback after time away and bringing him back into focus. Behind the scenes, he added that talks were already forming around a possible undisputed run depending on how things played out.
We haven't seen Dmitry Bivol since February of 2025, over a year, because he suffered a back injury after he defeated Artur Beterbiev. In his rematch, he won a majority decision, identical scorecards to the first fight where he lost a majority decision, but just in reverse, right? Dmitry Bivol will be back May 30th as he fights Michael Efford, who is 13 wins, 1 loss, no draws, 5 wins by way of knockout. And Dmitry Bivol, this is his comeback fight. But more importantly, he's already in negotiations to look to regain his undisputed titles.
Looking at everything, the boxing world is still circling the same big names, with Bivol, Beterbiev, and Benavidez all staying at the center of the conversation. The biggest voices keep pointing to the same idea. Only the top fights at 175 really matter, and everything else feels like a detour. There's constant talk of pressure, legacy, and who is really willing to step up when it counts. Some see danger, others see opportunity, but the demand for elite matchups stays the same. For now, fans are still waiting for those fights to finally collide in the ring. Like, subscribe, and comment your prediction on who wins these huge matchups.